Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus full moon eclipse for the month of March tarot oracle reading. And Taurus, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Taurus, we still all have a little bit of Taurus in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is it in? That's where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. So just keep in mind, this is a general or collective reading. Parts may or may not resonate. Take what works for you, leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it right now, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, it could give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And we have, whoops, I have my deck upside down. I've got a kitty on my lap. This is my little Stella. She's going to sit here and be a good girl and purr. Yep, she's got happy feet, so we're in good paws. A cat's purr has a very high vibration for healing. So thank you, Stella. All right, you may not be able to hear her because I have a noise canceling mic on, but she is purring away for us right now. You're a good girl. Did you just wake up? Yes. All right, so we have the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is representing the shift disturber. This shift disturber is a walking contradiction. You can see that this energy, he's looking backwards at these two swords that he left, and always looking over his shoulder. He's on his tiptoes and moving forward, but he's not looking where he's going. And look how he's carrying these swords. Like, how dangerous is that? Like, if he trips, he's not even watching where he's going. And so he's just, everything about this is just wrong. And, it looks like he's a thief, but he's not a thief in the night. He's a thief in broad daylight, which makes you wonder, what is he up to here? And why does he leave these two swords? Did he leave them here so that people would think in the village, when they thought one or the other of them stole the swords, that, it was their fault? And then, oh, okay, look, there just happens to be two swords here. Let's fight. We don't know. But the shift disturber, when this card shows up, it can sometimes represent innovative thinking, but to what reason? That's the question. So this card is saying there's some shifty energy around this reading right now, Taurus. So something around you is very shifty right now. We have the Empress. Now the Empress is representing your internal forces. So the Empress energy belongs to you, and the Empress energy is ruled by Venus, just as is Taurus energy. And the Empress represents someone who is a powerful manifester. And she is all about the element of earth, which is your element. And she is growing this weed at her feet, and she just waves her wand, and she just knows nature's going to take care of it for her. She is said to be pregnant with possibility, and possibly this card can represent someone who is pregnant. She has the qualities of all four queens rolled into one person. And so this is a very strong energy. Now let's see what's going on. We've got this very weak energy next to this very strong energy. And then we have the internal forces. So your internal forces at this time are, internal forces are what you do have control of. And it's coming from inside of you because you're asking questions like, if I do this, what if this happens? If they do that, what if I do this? Then what happens? Questions with the what ifs, the internal forces. So you have control over your internal forces. You don't have control over your external forces, but you can control your reaction or your response. Which is it going to be? And so we do have the Eight of Pentacles here. This is up your alley again, the Pentacles. This card here is talking about making money. The Pentacles actually represent health, wealth, happiness, you know, and lifestyle more than just money. Money, of course, is a very big part of lifestyle. But having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you wish that you could live. And so the energy is this. This is the only card in the of the Pentacles where the person is actually working on the coin. And so this is like actually working on the physical coin, making money. Now, either you have started a project and you're on the second one and you have 6 to go, or you have 6 done and you're on the 7th and have 1 more to go and your project will be complete. Let's see. We do have the Hermit. So the Hermit comes in generally after a dark night of the soul. So yeah, if this is your energy and this is the energy of the overriding energy of the reading, this is then, you know, this is sneaky, shifty energy, as I said. So you might be in the dark night of the soul or just have had a dark night of the soul. A dark night of the soul is when, you know, you've got shift happened basically, and you're doing your best to recover from it. So the Hermit climbs to the top of the mountain and he isolates himself so that he can be close to God and meditate and pray. And when his lantern is full of the light of the North Star representing your divine path that you were destined to take, when that energy, this is like your guiding star, and you notice his rod here becomes golden. And that's when he knows, okay, it's time to get down from the mountain and go implement what you were, what you figured out while you were up there chatting away with God. And here we have the Mean Girls card. So this is my Mean Girls card because it's very similar energy to, you think about grade 4 girls who, you know, they're just learning how, they're just beginning their cycle and they're not very good at handling those hormones as of yet. And they are like narcissistic cheerleaders. They're on the team and they can see that they're at a competition and they can see the other team won. Like clearly was better than them, but they don't care. They have to win. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will make sure they do. So this is the kind of energy, it's a very immature attitude towards competition. So competition, when we get older, or more mature, we start to realize that whenever, it doesn't matter, even if we're competing on a team or if we're competing, you know, for a sport, whatever it is, or for a job, or for whatever it is, when we go for that interview, we have to be the best version of ourselves. And if we crumble under the pressure, then we're not as likely to get the job as someone else. And so that's the energy. And when it comes to sports, if you recognize, hey, they did that really well and it was better than we did it, watch them and learn. The best thing you can do is learn from the competition and realize that, you know, your competition is with yourself, so that you can be a better version of the last time you did it. Even if you're 1% better than you were the time before, you're going to improve significantly. And we do have here the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is representing some sort of communication coming in. The Page of Pentacles is, his element is the Pentacle. So we have a lot of energy. There seems to be competition over Pentacles here, over lifestyle. And so the pages would work for the king and queen, generally from around 7 to 14 years of age. And they would run small errands and communication back and forth around inside the walls of the palace. And they would come from the surrounding family, like high society families, and be apprentices basically to work for the royalty. If they were really good at what they did and they could afford to buy a horse, they could be considered for knighthood once they were 21. And the Page of Pentacles is representing some form of communication coming in. And in the old days, of course, it would be in person. Now, it could be in person, but it's more likely that, you know, we have so many ways of communicating now that the communication could be coming in through a letter in the mail. It could be a phone call. It could be text message. You know, you could be seeing a message on social media, or be invited to an event on social media and you go to that and meet someone there, and then it is in person at that event. It also can be by watching the news. The news will tell us what's happening at the top of, of the heap, all the way down to the average person and lower. And then we have the 10 of Cups coming in. So this is ultimate fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. This is, you love your partner, you love your children, you love your home, and you love where you live, and you love your neighbors, and you just love your career, and you love your work, co-workers. Everything is just perfectly imperfect, as the best it can be in this world. And so that's the 10 of Cups. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, we have a lot of Pentacle energy here. This is, Taurus energy is the toddler of the horoscope wheel. First is Aries, the newborn, and then comes you. And the toddler's job is to learn how to give and take when it comes to the world. If you think about toddlers are totally lovable. And then if you make them share, what do? They throw a temper tantrum, and they don't want to share. They want to have it all. And they can be like a bull in a china shop. And that is the energy, that's the glyph that represents the energy of Taurus, is a steer or a bull. And it's representing that streak of stubbornness that we can also refer to as discipline. And here we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles is known for being very resourceful. She can make something out of nothing. And she understands the coin. Like, she understands how to stretch a dollar, and she also understands the value. She prefers quality over quantity. This is more like old money. She's not going to be flashy with it and buying designer this and that and trying to impress people with her money. She quietly puts it to work. So the money works for her instead of her working for the money. And this is the energy of your internal forces. We're going to go through this here. So right now you're identifying yourself as someone who's hard at work, very focused on making money. Your abundance and self-worth is like you've just been through a dark night of the soul, probably because of this shifty walking contradiction here. And it's damaged your self-worth. So you realize this and you're thinking, okay, I've got to go talk to God. I need to meditate. I need to take some time for myself so that I can, put myself back together, basically. The communication in early life, you could come from a family where there was a lot of siblings and you had to compete with each other for your parents' attention. And also I'm getting for the money. There's only so much money to go around, and if you have 5 kids, it takes a lot. And then we have the home and family, your emotional foundation. So this is that you do understand the value of a dollar, but I feel like the communication from your early life, your foundation for it, you have this idea with money. You were probably told that you have to work hard for money. Money doesn't grow on trees. You don't waste money. You don't, like that kind of energy. And it's affecting your ability to manifest at the level that you actually could, to move into this Empress energy. And then we have creativity, romance, and children. So this is what you want. This is your ultimate fulfillment here. You want that romantic partner. You want the beautiful home. You want the 2.5 children. You want. That's a toddler energy, and that's the energy of the Pentacles. They're about the earth, so it's about material matters. And then we have your health, your daily routine, and your habits. So I'm just getting that you right now you are having to be very resourceful, maybe because this can represent intellectual material that was snuck away from you, or sneaking away, depending on the energy here. If you're this walking contradiction, or if you're putting up with this walking contradiction, basically. So we'll see what's going on here. The external forces, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is sitting on her throne, and she is very discerning. She is considered sometimes to be the coldest queen of all, because she's been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, has the souvenir, and has zero desire to be in an energy of like where she has to stretch a dollar. She's not into that right now, and especially if it's because this has happened over here. You notice she's looking at the Queen and she's like, come and tell me what's going on here. I want to know what happened here, because there's something going, there's some money missing. And she doesn't have any patience for any bullshit, like literally. And so, you know, this is talking, if you're going to approach her, you better come into her correct, or it's off with your head. And she has her head above the clouds. She is very clear on what she wants and what she doesn't want. And she doesn't want any more of this bullshit. She wants whatever money went missing, she wants it back. And she wants it back now with interest. Give me the money. That's the energy. And I feel like what we're doing is we're learning about how you become an empress here. And so this energy, you already have two queens showing up. And in this one, you're very resourceful. You know how to work hard. You know what you want. The problem is you have, and now you've learned that how to be discerning. So in the past, possibly you would put up with this kind of energy, this shifty energy, and now you're like, no, I want to be the empress. I want to have a really good, an easy life. I don't want to be having to always be looking over my shoulder like this. We have the King of Cups coming in. So this is external forces. Now the King of Cups is coming in your position of marriage, commitment, and partnership. The King of Cups, you'll notice here, he is on a throne in the middle of water here. This is representing, in the tarot, when there's water like this and it's rough, it's representing volatile emotions and chaos around him. But the king, he's the most emotionally available of all the kings, because he has learned how to control his emotions. He's had to learn how to control his emotions, and he is patiently waiting to offer this cup of love, but he's waiting until the time is right, when he knows that when he offers it, it will be accepted. He has his right foot forward. That means that he's getting, you know, he can get up in a moment's notice. But he can feel the undercurrents are still pretty iffy, and so he's not going to make this offer until he knows that there's a good chance that it will be accepted. And then we have the Three of Cups here. So the Three of Cups is talking about these three people are celebrating. They're celebrating something. Now, what are they celebrating? Not each other, because they're not looking at each other. They're celebrating something that has been done, or an event, or some sort of something. But it's not, it might be something that they did together, but they're actually celebrating the result, not each other, is what I'm saying. And this card, in many cultures in the world, and in particular in Europe, if you are toasting someone and you don't look them in the eye, they have a superstition that it's 7 years of bad luck in your romantic life. So that kind of defeats the purpose here. And I wouldn't want to be toasting with those people. It's not worth the risk. So here we go. We have the Hangman. So the Hangman, so this is about, there's some sort of transition going on here. And this quite often can represent people gossiping, and, you know, they're enjoying someone else's problem, basically, here. And that's energy I'm picking up. So, you know, we'll keep going here and see before we figure out what that is, I think. This is external forces, of course. And the external forces, the way you can tell that they're external forces is you're saying what the EF happened. Not what if this happens, but what the EF happened. And now this is the hangman position, and this is in your higher knowledge energy. So that the hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge, and he's hanging there until his aura around his head becomes very bright, just like the light in the lantern here. He knows, okay, now I know what to do. I'm going to come down from the tree of knowledge and take action. And he doesn't come down until then. This is representing having balance in your life and being balanced in your approach. Now we have the Chariot coming in. So the Chariot is talking about someone who's on their destined path. And this energy means that you're getting back on the path that you need to. And that's when, shift can start happening, the good shift. And so you'll notice like this person is in this chariot. There's no reins. This represents someone who's on their destined path. It's the God-given path that they came here on earth to do. So it's like dong, 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 dong. It's a tank running over everything that gets in the way. Move out of my way. I'm on a mission for God. That's the energy. And then we have God showing up and saying, thank you for showing up. This is the sun shining. It's the happiest card in the deck. And this represents the energy of you and your destined path. This is the external force coming in, is God actually. And it's getting you back on the path that you need to be on. This little child is sitting on this pony and riding it with ease. He's got this heavy banner in his hand, and it's no problem whatsoever. No fear, no reins, just this is what I was destined to do. The sunflowers are all like turning towards the sun, and this shows a happy disposition. This is the energy that you're supposed to be in, and this is blessings coming in from new friends, new. That's the energy. Yes, and then we have this energy coming in. And this represents what you had to learn to be discerning about, this shifty energy. And so this could be this person rushing in, because now they can see, whoa, look at what all this Taurus has happening. I want a part of that, and I want to enjoy that. But he's running away from the truth, because God is about the truth. You see that? And so this energy, now I was wondering when we have this energy of the horses coming in now. And so I want to talk a little bit about the energy of this new moon that we had on February 17th. When we had the new moon on February 17th, it was in the sign of Aquarius, and opposing that energy was the sun in Leo. And so Leo energy is all about me. And I'm born to be a leader. And so I need to stand out, and I need to be able to look after my own needs to get in a position so that I can become a good leader. And Aquarius energy is saying, no, you need to look after the group and learn from that and just be part of the group and raise up, to leadership through the group. And so they've been having this argument ever since the beginning of February. And the energy also on that day was the first day of the Chinese New Year. And the Chinese New Year is in the year of the fiery horse energy. So these horse energy, this is representing the energy you want to be in right now for this horse energy. Calm, on your destined path, no fear. This is not the energy you want to be in on your in the fiery horse year. The fiery horse energy, it's a very free-spirited, it's about adventure, about new experiences, setting high standards and goals for your, what you want to achieve in life. In matters of love, it's heartfelt and very passionate. But the problem with this energy that you have to be careful of is that you can set your standards so high that you end up setting goals that are almost impossible to achieve in the time allotted, and then burn yourself out and not cross the finish line. It also can be extremely volatile, temperamental, energy. And so again, it's really important that you're not like a bull in a china shop trying to push people around with your energy to get your way. This is showing like someone, you know, the fiery horse energy. The problem with like if you're impulsive, it can be like when a horse takes off on you. And so if you've never ridden a horse, the bit in the mouth puts tension on the corners of the horse's mouth with the reins, and that's how you steer the horse. But if the horse gets spooked and you're not paying attention, it can grab that bit in its mouth and clamp it down in its teeth and just run. And you're not going to stop that horse if it's doing that. All you can do is hang on for dear life and hope you don't fall off and get really badly hurt, or get, you know, the horse doesn't run into traffic, or, you know, something like really dangerous like that. It's a very dangerous energy because, and the other thing is, the horse can run miles and miles before it calms down. And so you can be very far from where you wanted to be in a very short time. So that's the energy of this. And so there's some sort of communication coming in, because this is a knight, and that's what knights would do, is they would you know, deliver information from kingdom to kingdom. And you can see that this knight is running through barren land against the wind, and you can't see you can only see half his sword. You can't see it. It's like he only has half the information, but he's running in with the information anyway. We can't even see the point of what it is that he's talking about. Now, he's either running from something or he's running to something. And I don't think he's running to hard work. So he's running from God. Good luck, knight. Good luck. You're not, this is the shifty energy here, running from God and trying to stop, you know, he doesn't want to have to work hard. He wants you to work hard and enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's why he's sitting right next to you here. When you're the Empress energy, he's like, that's where I want to be, right next to her. Yeah. And this is representing the wounded warrior. Now, why did I pull this card out? Because it's not something that I was planning to do, but we're going to put it in the middle here. So this is the energy that you're in if you indulge this energy. And so we'll just leave it at that. The wounded warrior is someone that has... It's interesting why it's here. I don't know yet. We'll look into it, because the wounded warrior is someone that's on their destined path, but it's been really challenging. Like, you can see this person has been through it. He's managed to land 8 of the wands, which is quite a feat. Having said that, he's leaning heavy on that 9th wand, and he's exhausted. And it's like, yes, you're manifesting, you're getting the product in, but not with ease like you were supposed to be. So for those of you that feel that, okay, this is close enough, and I am happy to leave off here, please do give it a like and comment if you receive value from it. Consider subscribing to my channel. I would really be honored if you did so. I'm going to clarify for those of you who want to continue with this energy, because we haven't even talked about the next full moon energy coming up in the eclipses. So I'm going to take some time while I'm shuffling here and just talk about that. So on the new moon on February 17th, we also had an eclipse. Now that was a solar eclipse. So in a solar eclipse, the sun blocks out, or the moon blocks out the energy, or the sun, the view of the sun from planet Earth. And so it's just for a short while there, it's kind of like the hidden is, there's more and more hidden energy than there is the energy of the sun shining, showing the information. Now, this energy is representative of the very first eclipse of 2026. And when eclipses happen, it generally magnifies an area of your life that is that is the weakest area in your life. And so it's good, because then you're going to focus on the weakest area of your life and get it stronger. But you don't usually have the full picture, and that's this kind of energy here. When you don't have the full picture because you're so focused on one area of your life, you don't see the big picture. And so that's the kind of energy we kind of are in from the February 17th energy. And then the energy of the March 3rd, we're going to have a full moon, and there's going to be a lunar eclipse. So with the full moon, it's going to be in the sign of Virgo, and Virgo is asking for order, and cleanliness is next to godliness, and Virgo wants you to clean up your domestic life so that your environment supports you. So like the Empress, you're supported by the energy rather than being in this energy. And so the energy is like you have to be more discerning, and that's what we're in between these two stages. So on March the 3rd, it's a full moon energy, and the full moon is in Virgo, as I said, and then we also have the energy of Pisces opposing it. So Pisces is more like this energy right here. So Pisces energy is saying, I feel like this is like this is when the King of Cups comes in. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if the energy of this King of Cups comes in to get you out of this energy and put you more in this energy. Because I think the King of Cups sees you as a Empress. As for him, that's the energy you're in. You have, you have the qualities of the Queen of Pentacles, and also you've learned the discernment, as has the Queen of Swords, which was really important to learn, because this is where either you stay in this energy or you choose, okay, I'm getting out of this energy and I want to get into this energy. That's probably when the King of Cups is going to come into your life and be someone that would maybe have a solid offer for you. And the energy of on March 3rd is this, it's a lunar eclipse. So the sun is highlighted, and the sun is shining light on anything else that you didn't see. And so it's illuminating it for you so that you can move forward and get out of this energy into this energy, so that this King of Cups, and maybe the King of Cups comes in and empowers you to do so. So to clarify this, we're just going to check in here. Now this is an interesting energy, because I started building this, or making this oracle, Tales from the Vector. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And I started doing this in 2007. And when I was looking into the eclipses, I realized, oh yeah, on March 3rd of 2007, there was energy almost identical to this astrologically. And I was like, okay, what were you doing back then? I was in the process. I had just started doing this oracle back then. And so it was kind of a life-changing experience for me. And I've been working on this oracle for, I finished 64 paintings in 2020. They're from the Intergalactic Federation of Light, as I said. And so some of them are very large dragon paintings. And the dragons are coming from the future, from different parts of the world and different areas in the universe. And so I had a lot of fun doing it. I had it out and about at seminars when I used to teach them. And I also had it at psychic fairs for around 3 or 4 years. And I was, but I didn't have the whole deck done. I didn't have all the paintings done. Now all the paintings are done. I'm getting ready to bring it out. But I started it in March, the beginning of March of 2007. And it's been life-changing for me. That's when I was starting to get into energy work and that. And I just felt inspired to do this. And so that's what and I had no idea what the Intergalactic Federation of Light was, but I was like, okay, I'll paint it though. And I've had a lot of fun. It's really interesting. So in these cards, the numbers on them represent the order of the cards on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And that energy, those paintings are listed in the gallery. The numbers on here represent that painting. So in how it's presented in the gallery. And I will, in the description box below, put these in the order they appear. So if you want to go look up which painting is which, it may give you further clarity. I also want to say, when I got into this energy of looking back in time here for this eclipse energy, also there was a similar energy in 1980. So if you don't go back as far as 1980, it could be something that happened with your parents or whatever that would be life-changing. In 1980, I decided to go on a backpacking trip from Canada to Australia for 4 months. And I saved up to go. And when I got there, I loved it so much. And back then, it was easier to get visas and that. And I had an opportunity to stay. So I stayed in Australia for 1.5 years and traveled around. And in between, I had to renew my visa by leaving the country and coming back in. So I went to Bali, Indonesia. And, you know, on the way home, I stayed in Thailand for a month. And then I went to Japan and kind of worked my way back to Canada that way, stopping here and there. It brought out like my love of traveling, like, and that inspired me for probably almost all of the 80s. I would work 2 or 3 jobs sometimes, like work really like this. And then I would go on another holiday. Sometimes it would just be a month or so, or sometimes it'd be a couple, and I would go see a few countries, or, you know, sometimes it would just be a week. But I was really traveling a lot and really enjoying, like, meeting new people and the cultures. It totally changed my life. I also was like, I remember, you know, when I was younger, watching on, I think it was National Geographic was on TV, and I was watching like the 7 wonders of the world, and one of those was the Barrier Reef in Australia, and so I got my scuba diving ticket when I was there, and I was there, and I've been to, I think, 5 or 6 of the wonders of the world, and had some amazing experiences in my travels. And so that changed that was like how I lived my life for about almost a decade there. And then in 1988, there was another similar energy to this. And so if you're thinking now, what was going on in 1988 in your life, you know, or what was happening in your parents' life, what was going on, because it could have caused a big shift in your energy. So in 1988, that was the last year I was like single. And by 1990, I was married and had a baby. So it was very life-changing, this kind of energy. The eclipse energy it'll stick with us for a good 6 months. So it's the kind of, that's why I wanted to do a bonus reading on this, because it's really powerful energy if you use it correctly. And you do the work that you need to get to where you really want to go. We also have an energy of the Mercury. The planet of Mercury is going retrograde. It went retrograde yesterday, and it will be retrograde, which means that from the viewpoint of Earth, it appears to be going backwards. And it will be in retrograde until March 20th. So almost the entire month of March, we're going to be feeling this energy of poor communication, and sometimes technology that's not working the way it should, that kind of energy. But quite often, people from your past come in this energy, or you're revisited with the same kind of energy, and you have to work through it again and decide, am I going to put up with the same old shift, or am I going to be like the Queen of Swords and say, off with your head? None of your bullshit, thank you very much. And so this is the energy that I want to point out to everybody, because it's really powerful when you understand this. The eclipse energy can be challenging to be in. It's not always the easiest energy, but that's the point. And so we've got the Tower coming in. Now that does not surprise me. So the Tower is coming in because there needs to be a reality check here for you. If you're hanging out with this dude, and perhaps this is your lover, this shifty energy that's going on here is not going to get you to where you want to go. He's where he wants to go. He's next to you because you work hard, and he wants to have some of that energy. He's the one who's benefiting from your energy more than you're benefiting from his. And so the Tower hits. The Tower hits so that you wake up and you go, oh, I need to make a change in my life here. And then we have the Hangman energy. And so the Hangman is again saying, this is when you get into this energy and you realize, if I'm going to have everything that I want and work hard for it, then I want to make sure that I'm in balance and that I'm going to be in this energy, not in this energy. Or this energy is actually. So this is the difference. This energy or this energy. I'm going to actually take this and put this here, because I don't know why there's that extra card, but it really, this is showing you, this is the difference. If you handle this eclipse energy properly right now, it's about manifesting at a very high level, like the Empress, and it's a lack of awareness about competition, and also the lack of awareness of this competition could very easily be, you may have competition because this your lover is actually enjoying the energies of other people, and that's fine. But if it's other women or men, depending on recognizing that the energy of the characters in the tarot, they're archetypes, so they can be male or female. And it's more like the queens would be in a male or a female in their feminine energy, and the king would be energy in their masculine energy. So the lack of awareness, never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. And what that means is basically like, when we love someone, we don't want to see the negative side of them. So we tend to, okay, we just don't listen, and then that's why the Tower has to hit. I forgot to put a card on here. We have mother's worry. Yeah, your mother might be worried about you because she might be seeing how upset you are a lot of the time because of some of the energy here, and your mother might be starting to hear some gossip coming in regarding this competition that you aren't aware of, that is out there competing for this person's energy. And so we have the Hermit, and the Hermit energy is talking about having safe travels. So when delivering this message, the communication is about a pentacle, and the pentacle energy again is your lifestyle. So this is after a dark night of the soul, as we said. After you do this, you realize this is not the lifestyle that you want. What you want is this lifestyle. And how are you going to get that? You're going to get that by letting go of the anger and not having a temper tantrum, and actually applying yourself to, okay, I have to get myself into a position like the Queen of Pentacles. I've got to be in a position where I understand how to make my money work for me rather than me working for my money, and I need to use my discernment here and not put up with any of this bullshit that's been going on. So this is the Hierophant coming in. The Hierophant is traditional structure. So this is you realizing, hey, if I want to be in this energy instead of this energy, I need to be more like this energy. I need to stick up for myself, and I have to, and look at, she's looking straight at him right now. What is this bullshit here? What is this? What is this? What am I'm hearing gossip. My mother's worried about me. She's telling me people are gossiping. What is this about? And this is the energy of destruction. So destruction coming in on your marriage commitment and partnerships. This is not progress in motion. This is a tactic. And, you know, this is like destroying your self-worth, basically. Look where you're at. And your mother is noticing it. And she's like, you can do better. That's the energy. So she's saying you should be an empress. There we have it. Okay, so this is talking about you. This is the day that you choose, I'm going to be the empress. That's the energy I'm going to be in now. And so the external forces, you've stepped into this energy now where you're like, I'm not putting up with this bullshit. I am not. And this is when the transition comes in. And look at it's on the moon. And it's reckless abandon, WRECK. So this is saying that now you are using your intuition and you're getting this, okay, I want to know what's really going on here. And I feel like this is going to be happening around March 3rd. And maybe you've met this person by now and thinking, wow, that is such a better energy, like not having to wonder, you know, not all the drama and wondering like, oh, like what's going to happen next, just knowing. And this is the Scorpio energy. It's the sexual gladiator, and he's very passionate. And you're thinking, hey, I wouldn't mind having babies with this person. That's the energy that I'm picking up. And we have coming in next is the scotoma is gone. You know that you want to be on, this path. So this is when you, the scotoma is when you have a blind spot. And so everybody else can see what this person is doing, but you can't because you love them. Love is blind, but now you've decided, okay, off with your head. I'm out of here. See ya, go in and hang out with one of the competition here. And remember, it's a full moon. And so the competition here, look at, they're celebrating. They're celebrating. Hey, she let him go. And this could be one of the people and her two friends that is one, maybe all three of them, because he's got 5 swords here. They're celebrating because, hey, he's all ours now. And you're like, you can have him. That's the energy. Disruption, yes, in your blessings. And so God has stepped in. This is divine intervention from God saying, what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. So they're having fun in this energy and he's having fun in this energy, but you're here. So now you're here. This is where I want you. Yay, you're finally listening to me and the universe, and you're moving forward in the strong way that to start being in this divine energy. And now all this is coming in. And just when you are about to do that, because there's a retrograde, this dude comes flying in because now he realizes, holy shit, she's going to leave me. And he's attached to you because now you're in an Empress energy. And he's been fooling around with this bullshit, and you're like, see you later, dude. and he's in the energy of what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine, but I don't have anything because I haven't been working hard like you. I'm attached to you. And you're like, well, I'm not attached to you anymore. See you. I'm going on a date tonight with the King of Cups. Have a nice day. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up. So I do hope you've enjoyed this. Give it a like and comment if you have, and consider subscribing to the channel if you resonate. And I will be back with another astrological reading for you, and that one will be for the middle of the month of March. Bye for now, Taurus.